It's the story of St Mary and St Melor Church in Amesbury. The former Abbey Church is more than 1,000 years old, and it's having its roof repaired at a cost of more than £350,000. It had to be closed after pieces of plaster started to crumble and fall away. I caught up with Mark Verbinnen at the church. He's one of those leading the fundraising campaign to restore the magnificent roof at St Mary and St Melor in Amesbury.
It's a very large parish church. It was a former abbey, so you can see kind of remains of where the building was larger. Currently, half of it's covered in scaffolding with the roof work going on, but it is a beautiful, large, bright, open church.
And how old is it? It's got that squat Norman-looking tower.
It expands over many, many centuries, but the original church here is from 979 AD.
And is this your church where you have worshipped and enjoyed over the years?
Yep, so I was christened here 30 years ago. I was married here 7 years ago. My kids are christened here. I've attended this church many, many Sundays.
And you noticed that there were problems in the fabric of the building.
It became apparent three or 4 years ago that parts of the roof were damp, and then eventually some plaster actually started to fall. And it was kind of at that point we realised just how serious the roof project would be.
Is it all right if we wander in and have a little look around then? Because there's a historic value as well as a worship value to this church too, isn't there?
Absolutely. So this is an old abbey church. There's actually a Queen of England buried somewhere around the site. We don't exactly know where. In fact, it's Queen Eleanor of Provence, wife of Henry III. And she is the only Queen of England that doesn't have an official gravesite.
Okay, just coming through the door and down the steps, and you can feel the air change. It's cold.
So yeah, when you walk in, you can see just how large this is compared to a normal, small village parish church. It's had a lot of extensions. The north and south area here are quite large and almost as big as the nave, which is quite unusual because in most church buildings, the nave is really the longest part of the building.
Now, of course, one of the things about the work that's being done on this church is it's enormously skilled and demands specialist expertise. So is it all right if we go outside and have a chat with the architect leading the project?
My name is Emma Mullen, and I'm project architect and inspecting architect for the nave roof project at St Mary and St Melor Church, and I work for St Anne's Gate Architects in Salisbury. This is a large-scale conservation project. We've opened up the lead roof covering and the sarking boards to inspect the structure beneath, and what we found is the original 15th century roof structure, which we believe was introduced around the Reformation, and a second roof structure on top almost, which dates from the early 20th century. There are a series of metal straps and fixings which make the two interconnected, which makes the structural problems that we have here extremely complex. We have extensive timber decay and structural problems that need to be overcome.
So this is massive and also quite exciting. You found part of a roof from the Reformation.
Yes, it is exciting, and I think from inside the church, the nave roof is such a key feature of the building. It's got beautiful carvings within the roof space and along the wall plates, and these beautiful 6 trusses which span from the north to south walls over the nave.
I'm looking here at floor-to-ceiling scaffolding. This is a massive project.
It certainly is. When we started fundraising here, we weren't aware of the scale or just how close we came to the roof actually structurally failing. Once plaster and things started to fall, and you could see one of the trusses from the ground here actually came almost away from the side of the building, it became very apparent that we needed to raise the money very fast.
How important is it that you're going through this pain to get St Mary and St Melor Church back up for worship?
This is, in my opinion, the most important building in Amesbury and its surrounding areas. Its history is so important to this town. Yes, a lot of people do come here to worship and have weddings and funerals and baptisms, and I hope that continues forever. But we envisage this as almost becoming a community space as well. Having choir concerts and making it alive again. It's been quite difficult to fundraise over the last six months or so. We know that we have still £50,000 left to fundraise, and not being able to put on any events. We've had to cancel our annual fete, which usually brings in quite a lot of money. Our Scarecrow Trail. 2019 we put on 50 different fundraising events, and this year sadly we've not managed to do anywhere near that.
Mark Verbinnen there, one of the spearheading the campaign to raise funds for St Mary and St Melor Church in Amesbury, having major roof repairs as we speak. If you want to find out more about that, you can follow their social media pages or go to their website, maryandmelor.com/roof. Melor, just one L, Melor, maryandmelor.com/roof.